Hi, today I'm going to show you a few hints and tricks that I like to use in my own garden to help me save money. Since I've been gardening, I've noticed that even buying small things can quickly add up. So today I'm going to show you a few things that I do to help me save money and also help you grow a beautiful garden every time. So firstly, I want to tell you how you can save money growing your own plants from seed. Firstly, obviously you can buy seeds from shops. You can spend as much or as little money as you like. You can go to places like Poundland, Wilco, or you can go to specialist garden centres and pick up specialist varieties. You can buy the plants pre-grown at a garden centre, but you'll save significant amounts of money just by growing the seeds yourself at home. Not only can you buy seeds from shops, the great thing about plants is that they grow their own seeds, so you can glean seeds directly from your own garden or from other people's garden, provided you ask. By collecting your own seeds, you save significant money, in fact, a limitless amount of money, because you don't spend any money having to collect your own seeds. Here's some seeds that I've collected myself for my own garden. I've got here some coleus, some cosmos. I don't even know what that one is. Oh, it's petunia. I've also got marigolds here. And what is that? Oh, it's more cosmos. So on your own plants, you might be tempted to deadhead, which helps promote more flowers. But by deadheading, you lose the opportunity to grow seeds. So towards the end of the season, when you know the plants are going to be withering back anyway, allow your plants to grow their own seeds themselves. So then you can collect them and store them at home. So the way I like to store my seeds, like I showed you earlier, is in these little pots. So these are actual pots from takeaways. So when I have a takeaway, I'll save the pots and wash them out. And then when I actually collect the seed, I'll have them on my windowsill to allow them dry out with the lids off. I'll take the lids off with the seed head in the pot, and I allow them to dry out naturally in the sun before I actually collect the seeds from the flower heads themselves. Another way to get seeds is through seed swaps. You might have a local community of gardeners that like to grow their own seeds at home as well. So find out locally whether you have some seed swaps in your area. If you don't have your own seed swap in your local area, why not have a go at starting one? Seed swaps are a really good way of actually trading seeds that you've grown yourself with plants that you might not have yourself at home. If there are no seed swaps in your area, why not set up your own one? You can go onto Facebook, set up an event, find some local gardeners who have their own plants that they might want to swap, and go from there. Seed swaps are a really good way of getting to know other people in your community who also enjoy gardening. Next up, I want to talk to you about cuttings. So you might have plants in your garden that you actually really enjoy, or you might have plants in your garden that are getting towards the end of their natural life or getting a bit too big, like a lavender plant, for instance. So what you can do to actually increase the number of plants that you have, or if you need more plants, is just simply to take cuttings. I can't go into too much detail about how to take cuttings for particular plants because it's different for each variety of plant. It is possible to take cuttings from nearly all plants. You can also ask people when you're out and about if you can take a cutting, if they're trimming a hedge or if they're cutting back a rose. It's possible to just simply ask them if you can take some of the trimmings with you. I've done that myself when walking my dog. I've seen some neighbours cutting back their roses, and I've taken the rose cuttings myself to take home and plant. Cuttings can be easy and hard to do. So if you're growing roses, for instance, I've tried to grow roses from cuttings multiple times and I haven't really been that successful. But that doesn't mean it's not worth trying. So give it a go. Next up is online marketplaces. So you can look for plants on places like Facebook Marketplace, eBay, Gumtree, Reddit even. People are willing to maybe even offer plants for free from their garden, or sometimes they might want a small fee if they're growing them themselves at home. But I found a local neighbour who was growing hollyhocks in her garden, and she's harvested the hollyhock seed. I went to visit and I managed to get a big bag of these hollyhock seed for £1. The good thing about meeting people on Facebook Marketplace is that sometimes they're very willing to talk about their gardens, and offer you extra things. So for instance, I got these. This is some Love in a Mist seed heads. I've never grown this before, so I'm looking forward to growing it. The good thing about this is that it will grow quite freely. So I'm hoping to actually take these outside and give them a shake around my garden to get some Love in a Mist. But not only that, this is quite a nice little decoration to have inside your home. The benefit of also meeting people on Facebook Marketplace and getting them talking is that sometimes they might be willing to offer you more hints, more tips, events in the local area, or actually offer you even more free things from their own garden when they're planting or gardening. The good thing about gardening is that people get very passionate about their gardens, and if they have an abundance of plants that typically when you're growing your own, you'll have too many to grow in your own garden, so they will give them away. This leads me nicely onto my next point, which is just get to know your local neighbourhood. You'll know the green-fingered people because they love to talk about their plants, and they will all tell you hints and tips about what they're doing from day to day, and also they'll give you free plants from time to time when they're growing too many. My next tip is friends. Now, you might have friends that have their own gardens, and they might have plants in there that you enjoy looking at as well. So why not ask your friends, can you have a cutting? Can you grab some of their seeds? Or can you even divide their plants? Offer a bit of free gardening as well. And you might get some free plants out of that too. My next tip is gleaning or foraging for seeds. But make sure you don't steal. You might be out in the wild and you might see some plants that you like. And it's okay to take seeds from plants, or it might take a few cuttings. If you see a plant you like in someone's garden and you're keen on growing it yourself, why not knock on the door and ask if it's okay to take a cutting or take some seeds for yourself? And remember, it's never okay to steal from someone else's garden. Remember, if you're gleaning seeds or cuttings from the wild, make sure you leave enough for the local area to regenerate itself. It's not okay to just take all of the seeds from plants in the wild, because that means those plants won't exist again in the future. So only take what you need. And if you are on private land, always ask permission. Next up on my list is sales at supermarkets or garden nurseries. So you can pick up some great deals on out of season plants, such as bulbs that are normally planted in autumn. They might not grow well this year, but they'll definitely still grow, and you'll definitely see better results next year and for years to come. When you're in a garden centre or in a supermarket, you might see some plants that are lightly damaged, and it's okay to ask for a discount, and it's also okay for them to say no. But you can always ask, and sometimes you can get a good deal. Like for instance here, I got this orchid from a supermarket. It wasn't in sale, so I asked if it was okay to get a discount on it, and I got it for half price. My next tip for you is gifts. So instead of getting gifts that you don't want for Christmas and your birthday, just ask your friends and family for plants, such as at Valentine's Day. Instead of getting cut flowers, you could get a potted flower, which will give you flowers for years to come instead of for a few days. The benefit of getting plants for your birthday that you actually want as well is that you don't get gifts that you don't want. So not only does your friends and family save money on buying things that you don't want or don't need, but you're also saving money on plants that you do want because your friends and family have bought them for you. My next tip is slightly more unconventional, but pots in your garden or pots for seedlings. Use your toilet rolls. These are great for planting on or seeding directly into, and you don't have to actually change the pot. You can plant these straight into your garden. They will rot naturally into the soil. And finally, my last tip for you is to think outside the box entirely. Here's a garnish that I actually took from a meal I had recently in a pub. It was some really dried out thyme that was on the top, way too big for the meal to actually eat with it. So I thought I'll take it home and give it a go. And actually, it started rooting inside some water. With all these tips, it's possible to make a garden beautiful on a budget, or even spending no money at all. So hopefully you give my hints and tips a go. If you found any of my hints useful, why not give me a comment below and let me know what you did? If you've got any hints that I haven't described today, why not comment below? I'd love to hear them. Hopefully you found this video useful. So if you have, please give me a like. I'm Luke, and I'm the Top Knot Gardener. I'll be doing more videos in future, so why not give me a subscribe so I can help you on your garden journey.